right, guys, so I want to do a review of two different things today. I want to do a quick review of how to change a mixed number into an improper fraction. So watch, if I have 5 1/3, okay, you're going to start with this 3 and go around, okay? First you multiply, then you add. So 3 times 5 gives me 15, plus 1 more is 16 over 3. And let me show you why that's what you're doing, okay? You have 5 pies plus another part of a pie. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So you have 5 whole pies, and then you have this much of another pie, right? Essentially what you are doing when you are changing this mixed number into an improper fraction is you are cutting all of these pies into the same number of pieces. So since we started with 3 here, you got to cut all of them into 3 pieces, okay? If you cut all of these pies into 3 pieces, how many pieces do you get? You get 16. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then one more makes 16, okay? That is why you have to multiply first and then add, because you are cutting up those pieces and then adding the little bit of the last one that you have, okay? So always start at the bottom, you multiply, then you add, okay? You multiply the denominator by the whole number, and then you add the numerator, okay? I need y'all to practice that because some of you are still having a little bit of issue with that, okay? Let's do one more. Okay, let's try 3 2/3, okay? Again, start at the bottom with the denominator and go around. 3 times 3 plus 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 2 more is 11. So this is the same as 11/3, okay? Why is this useful? Well, when you are doing your subtraction problems, you can either choose to change both of them to an improper fraction. So let me show you that. 5 1/3 minus 3 2/3, okay? A couple of you are still trying to take the larger one and subtract the smaller one. You can't do that. You got to start at the top, okay? Can you take 2 away from 1? No, you cannot. So we are going to have to either regroup them, or we're going to have to change them to improper fractions, okay? I'm going to show you how to do it with changing it to improper fractions first, okay? So again, we go in a circle. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 more is 16/3. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 more is 11, okay? And then all you have to do is subtract. 16 minus 11 leaves you with 5 over 3. You cannot leave it like that. This is the step that almost all of you are missing. You cannot leave it like this. You've got to change it back. So how many times will 3 go into 5? It'll go 1 whole time with 2 left over, so we put that back over 3. Okay, don't believe me? Come out to the side and do it. How many times will 3 go into 5? It'll go 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract. You got 2. You got the 2 back over the 3. Okay? All right. Do I care which way you do this? I do not. If you are more comfortable doing it this way, if it makes more sense this way, please do it this way, okay? All right. Let's look at number 2 on page 433. We're specifically going to look at number 2 and number 12 because these were questions that somebody asked, okay? Number 2 is kind of tricky, okay? But you have to remember, we started with 6. We are subtracting 3 2/5, okay? You cannot just go, all right, 6 minus 3. No, okay? You are starting with 6 whole pies. You are taking 3 whole pies and then 2/5 of another pie away, okay? So I'm going to do this both ways, okay? I'm going to solve this problem 2 times. So actually I'm going to move it over a little bit so you can see them side by side, okay? 6 minus 3 and 2/5, okay? 6 minus 3 and 2/5, okay? Again, whichever way makes the most sense to you is the way that I want you to do it, okay? The first way I'm going to do it is by changing them both to improper fractions, okay? So, when you are changing a whole number to an improper fraction and that doesn't have a fraction to it, for subtraction purposes only, okay? There is actually not a 0/5, but just pretend like you've got a 0/5 and do it the same way, okay? 5 times 6 is 30. 30 plus nothing more is 30 over 5, okay? 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 more is 17 over 5, okay? And then you just subtract. 30 minus 17 leaves you with 13/5. You cannot leave it as 13/5, so you're going to say, how many times will 5 go into 13? It'll go 2 whole times with 3 left over, so we put that back over 5, okay? All right, now I'm going to show you doing the same problem, but this time I'm going to borrow, okay? Again, you have to put a pretend 0/5 here, okay? All right, so can you take 2 away from nothing? You cannot. It's not possible. You got nothing, you can't give somebody 2 of something. So we're gonna have to borrow and regroup, okay? We're gonna borrow one of these whole pies that is uncut. So now we have 5, okay? And we are going to add the pieces to this, okay? How do we know how many pieces? Again, you always look at the denominator. In this case, it's 5, so we're going to add 5, okay? Rewrite the problem because this is crazy looking, okay? So now we have 5 and 5/5, and we are going to subtract, just slide it over, remember, 2, 3 and 2/5, okay? Now we can do that. We have a whole pie that we've cut up. We can give somebody 2 pieces of. 5 minus 2 leaves me with 3. 5 minus 3 leaves me with 2, okay? I do not care which way you do it. I just want you to get it set in your head which way you like and make sure you know how to do it properly, okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do number 12, and then we're gonna come back on page 433 and try a couple more problems, okay? All right. Okay, number 12 says 9 and 1/3. We are subtracting 2/3, okay? Again, I'm going to do this both ways, just to show you in whichever way you like best, okay? All right, first way, we're going to change them both to improper fractions, okay? The 2/3 is already in fraction form. You don't have to do anything except slide it over. All right, so 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 more is 28. 28/3 minus 2/3 is 26/3. You cannot leave it like this. How many times will your 3 go into 26? It'll go 8 times with 2 left over. Okay, so 8 and 2/3. Okay, let's do it again, but with borrowing and regrouping, okay? So we are going to borrow one of these pies. So now we're left with 8. We're gonna regroup it. We're gonna cut it up basically. All right, how many pieces do we need to add? We need to add whatever is on the denominator, which is 3. So add 3 to the top. Rewrite the crazy looking problem. So now we have 8 and 3 plus 1 is 4/3. And we are taking away 2/3. Okay, 4 minus 2 is 2. 8 minus nothing is 8. Okay? All right? All right, let's just try 2 more problems, okay, like this. And then if you have questions, you must ask me. Guys, I love you, but you are not being good about asking me questions when you don't understand. You're getting things wrong. It's okay to get things wrong. It's not okay to get things wrong and not ask me a question about it, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and try number 4, because this is another one that y'all did already. 9 3/8. And we are going to subtract 8 7/8. Okay? 9 3/8 minus 8 7/8. Okay? We're going to do it both ways. I'm sorry, my marker seems to be running out a little bit, so hopefully it'll last for this last one. Okay. Again, let's practice changing things to improper fractions. 8 times 8 is, yep, that's right, 64, plus 7 more is, oh, in my head, I can't do that, let's see. 7, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72? You get 72, Mary Beth? Nope, that's not right. 71. 71. Okay. Okay, 8 times 9 is 72, plus 3 more is 75 over 8. Okay, just simply subtract. You end up with 4/8, okay? And when we reduce it, because you must always reduce it, so what number will go into both 4 and 8? Okay, well, they're both even, so 2. 4 divided by 2 leaves me with 2. 8 divided by 2 leaves me with 4. Oh, wait, I can reduce again. What will go into both 2 and 4? 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So your answer is 1/2 altogether, okay? All right, so the second way, I'm going to regroup and borrow, okay? As you know, you just slide the bottom one over. All right, so I'm going to regroup. So now I have an 8, okay? What am I adding to the top? I'm adding whatever's on the bottom. In this case is 8. Okay, let's rewrite that. 8 and 8, 9, 10, 11. 8s. Okay. All right, 11 minus 7 leaves me with 4/8. 8 minus 8 leaves me with nothing. So I'm just left with 4/8. Okay, reduce it. What number will go into both 4 and 8? Well, 4 will. 4 will go into 4 one time. 4 will go into 8 2 times. And there is your answer again, 1/2. Okay? All right, we're going to do one last problem, and then you must ask me questions if you need to, okay? Then you're going to do the practice problems on the quizzes, okay? All right, so let's try number 10. I've got 9 3/12. And we are subtracting 4 7/12, okay? Okay, all right, again, let's practice changing those mixed numbers into improper fractions. 12 times 4 is 48, plus 7 more is 55. Okay. 12 times 9 is 108, plus 3 more is 111. Okay.
Those are some big improper fractions.
Those are some very large improper fractions. Probably it would have taken you a little bit longer. Guys, do not hesitate to use up all your extra paper if you need to, okay? Write it out. Don't do it in your head if you don't have to. All right, so 111 minus 55 leaves me with 56. If you don't believe me, come out to the side. Subtract. We're going to have to mirror. Okay. 56 over 12. Okay. Cannot leave it like this. So how many times will 12 go into 56? Well, it'll go 4 times, because 12 times 4 is 48. So 56 minus 48 leaves you with 8. 8 over 12. Cannot leave it like this. Okay, what number will go into both 8 and into 12? Well, 4 will. 4 will go into 8 2 times. 4 will go into 12 3 times. Okay, so there's your answer. We kind of got over here a little bit, but that's okay. All right, this time we're going to use our other method, which is to borrow and regroup, okay, because we cannot take 7 away from 3. So we're going to borrow one of these. We're going to add How many pieces? 12 pieces. 12 pieces to that. Rewrite it so it's not so crazy looking. All right, 12 plus 3 more gives me 15 over 12. Okay. 15 minus 7 leaves me with 8 twelfths. 8 minus 4 leaves me with 4. I cannot leave it like this, so again, I have to reduce. How many times will 4 go into 8? It'll go 2 times. How many times will it go into 12? It'll go 3, and there is your answer. All right, guys, I love you. Good luck. I know you're going to get this.